Good afternoon, everybody. This is the presentation Mobility as a Service for Safe Streets, as we've done it in Eindhoven. So, I'm very honored to be invited to have this presentation at the City Development Forum 2020 in Poznan. Of course, on behalf of the municipality of Eindhoven, we totally adhere to the vision of a friendly city with safe streets and space for spending time. A lot of topics in a very little time. So without further ado, start with the introduction. Who am I? How do we live in Eindhoven? Who's Rick? Rick is ICT architect, digital innovation. Received my Master of Science at the State University in Groningen, Commercial Computer Science. My ambition in life is to connect people and information to technology and processes, and vice versa, in order to make it work or make IoT work. I worked for more than 20 years in the Rotterdam Harbour at the Europe Combined Terminals with automatic guided vehicles and automatic stacking cranes in the late 90s. Went to Van Ommenparkhout, the largest independent tank storage with tank measurements, flow meters and stuff like that, where technical automation is key and very business critical for safety and security for, let's say, about 5 million people in the immediate vicinity of the terminals. I'm more than 5 years now civil servant for Eindhoven, doing all kinds of smart stuff. I'm a member of the Dutch Normalization Institute, the Standardization Advice Group Smart Cities. I'm participating in the Open Agile Smart Cities and living in Europe Technology Council. I'm the coordinator of the Dutch chapter of the Open Agile Smart Cities. I worked and still work in several European Horizon 2020 projects. I like to work in local, regional, and international living labs to do pilots, to do validations, and my motto is digital innovation equals city knowledge sharing. Before we start, I want to share this disclaimer. This is just my point of view, my personal ideas, collated from all kinds of sources, to my opinion, open source. It's certainly not discussed or approved by senior management and or the council of the municipality of Eindhoven. So if you've got a problem, talk to me. Start in Dutch.
Je hoeft je helemaal niet aan regeltjes te houden. Ik ben gewoon een maker, denker en maker. Een van mijn punten die ik belangrijk vind is dat de techniek zichtbaar moet zijn. De kracht van Eindhoven is het durven, het gewoon beginnen en kijken of het lukt. En als het niet lukt, dan beginnen we opnieuw.
So the power of Eindhoven is daring, at least for me. We are allowed to innovate, to try stuff, to mix things up, learn from it, start over again, and keep working. Next thing, in Eindhoven, we don't think in smart cities for all kinds of technologies, gimmicks and stuff like that. We only use smart IoT, dashboards, application, AI, whatever, if it really adds value to the society, for our citizens, for our visitors, for our businesses. We started with living labs. I'll come back to these later, but top left-hand corner we see areas, the Citizens Initiative for air quality measurements. On the top right-hand side there's smart lighting, public-private cooperation. Below that you see Stratums and 2.0 to create safe and pleasant streets in the largest pub street in the Netherlands. And left below you see citizens beacons and private initiative to provide all kinds of stuff in the center of Eindhoven. I needed to create an overview of sensors throughout the city of Eindhoven. This is done, it's not complete, it's out of date, but it provide you an insight that we have a lot of stuff. So actually the city is a living lab at this point in time. You see IT sensors in every corner of every street, and it's all good and fine. But as municipality, we have to safeguard the public interest for and foremost. At the meantime, we want to stimulate economic development and ecosystems, frame our organic approach to make it more future-proof. It's not in concrete, we're always willing and prepared to change. So, when we just started 5 years ago, 2015, we created the Open Data Principles, 8 rules, local legislation. If somebody wants to place a sensor in the public area to harvest data, these are the rules you have to apply with. A year later, we created the Smart City IT Charter, 7 simple architecture rules, make it open on every level, interface, modular, standards, sources. Do it security proof, do it privacy proof, and do it for citizens. Based on that more political level, we created with our alderman in cooperation with the City of Amsterdam these 4 principles of the digital infrastructure for a smart society, which are, let's say, enhanced on a national level to these 5, more or less the same, is now part of the digital society, approved by the 300 plus municipalities in the Dutch Association of all municipalities. These 5 values, principles are: do it based on public societal value. Whatever you do, take care of the personal data rights and sovereignty of the citizens for their own data. Make the digital infrastructure accessible and secure for everybody. Connect all parties involved and be transparent in everything you do. So, next topic, the quadruple helix and other ecosystems at all levels. So, quadruple helix we say, or multiple helix, where we say, well, we start of course with the municipality of Eindhoven. We talk and discuss and work together, co-create with marked parties, large and smalls, citizens and knowledge institute, and together we improve the quality of life. At local level, you see the parties involved, where we created in the center is the Dutch Institute of Technology, Safety and Security. We created kind of cookbook and starter kit environment, and we were honored to receive the award of the most innovative business ecosystem 2 years ago of the IT management organization in the Netherlands. On regional level, we talk with other larger cities in the area, with larger companies, multinationals, with several knowledge institutes, and of course there the Brainport region is in the center. National level, we've got the Dutch Normalization Institute, the Dutch Association of Municipalities, the larger and somewhat smaller municipalities in the area, larger international oriented companies, research and technology organizations, Dutch and abroad, and some other scientific institutes. Of course, in all the European Horizon 2020 projects, we cooperate or be part of the same mix applies. So we also reduce the stuff made available from the European Union, like let's say the Connect EU facilities, building blocks. We used context broker to make this standard and PubSuite safe. In the slide notes we will share later, there's a link to the total. Summary, we share knowledge everywhere. Living Labs, Brainport region, Dutch level digital city agenda, Association of Dutch Municipalities, European Horizon 2020 projects. On every European network organization there is around, so the ENOL, Eurocities, AIP, LUCI, We talked to other, let's say, municipality associations in Finland, Denmark, Sweden, and Belgium. And of course, we are one of the founding members in the Netherlands of the Open Agile Smart Cities. As depicted here, we currently have 8 cities, and I'm happy to share with you that where we are virtual present now, Poznan is also one of the cities involved. Built on everything earlier, we have now the Living Europe initiative, the Joint Boost Sustain Declaration, where we all agree on 6 principles to make Europe better, future-proof. On technical level, we agree to use more or less the same principles as early stated from Eindhoven, based on open systems, based on standard interfaces and specifications. I'm happy to share that again Eindhoven and Poznan are both signees of this declaration. Our mayor, John Jorisma, is ambassador of this initiative. I want to share this movie with you, again in Dutch and English subtitled.
Ik ben John Jorisma, ik ben burgemeester van Eindhoven, maar eigenlijk ben ik ook een beetje burgemeester van de Brainpoort-regio. En de Brainpoort-regio is een ecosysteem waarin bedrijfsleven, kennisinstellingen, universiteiten, hogescholen, publieke partijen zoals de gemeente samenwerken. We hebben gemiddeld 2,5% hogere economische groei dan de rest van Nederland en dat al 10 jaar lang. En dat is ook niet zo bijzonder, omdat we hier hele grote bedrijven hebben. Denkt u eens aan ASML, denkt u aan Philips, denkt u aan Signify, NXP, bedrijven van wereldnaam. We willen natuurlijk een aantrekkelijke en duurzame stad zijn met meer ruimte voor wandelen, meer ruimte voor fietsen en voor openbaar vervoer. Doorgaand verkeer uit het centrum willen we weren. Maar dan moet er natuurlijk wel een alternatief zijn voor de auto. Voor duurzame reizen zien we natuurlijk heel veel toekomst in Mobility as a Service, MaaS kort gezegd. Daar komen de verschillende Europese doelen samen als I enable, I learn, I trust. Met slimme technologie reizen we sneller door Eindhoven. Een voorbeeld is die slimme technologie op dit kruispunt. Fietsers krijgen hier zoveel mogelijk groen licht, omdat ze als van verre gespot worden door een thermische camera. Het is gefinancierd vanuit SynchroniCity, een innovatief programma van de Europese Unie. Eindhoven is één van de teststeden. En dan hebben we nog de Swoong-app. Die werkt al op de helft van onze fietsverkeerslichten in Eindhoven. Fietsers die de app op een smartphone hebben, die maken automatisch verbinding met de verkeerslichten. En als het verkeer dat toelaat, dan hoeven ze niet eens meer te stoppen. En dan de auto. De verkeerslichten op een deel van de binnenring van Eindhoven wordt omgebouwd zodat het verkeer beter kan blijven rijden. In de ochtend- en de avondspits ligt de winst nu al tussen de 5 en 13% aan reistijd. Fijn voor de chauffeurs, maar natuurlijk ook voor onze inwoners. Want het is een aanzienlijke vermindering van de schadelijke uitstoot, omdat de auto's minder remmen en versnellen. En dit zijn maar kleine voorbeelden van een slimme stad. Mobility as a Service, dat is de toekomst. We proberen met technologie beter, makkelijker, eenvoudiger van A naar B te komen. En dat gunnen we natuurlijk ook u. Dat gunnen we alle andere steden in Europa. Eindhoven, I enable, I learn, I trust.
Yeah, it's all good and fine, of course. How do you do that? What's in IT for quality of life and how to orchestrate this? I want to share with you, how to measure quality of life. Well, I don't know, but there are some statistics guys in Ambeo who place Eindhoven third in the list in Europe. Poznan has some challenges to take over. We use the FEAR tier model for digitalization. So tier 1 is just a basic infrastructure connectivity where the IoT devices are placed. We typically see that building on top of this connectivity, you got per vertical, per silo, per experience area, all dedicated infrastructure for life, for mobility, etc., etc. Again, this is all very great, but what we would like to achieve, sorry, is a more holistic, horizontal, integrated view where we need to have data storage management in standard models. We need some kind of analytics to transfer data into intelligence, to knowledge, to actionable items, to make it available on an urban platform. You could say translate it into a marketplace with all kinds of how to get it, what agreements are there, what privacy stuff is that, and to be able to develop the killer apps and services who actually increase the quality of life for everybody. Example, these are the guys again, the Citizen Initiative, who place about 30 air quality measurement boxes throughout the cities. They've got also portable one, and create some kind of heat maps. These locations are shared on the open data platform of Eindhoven. Well, yep. Where you can see, if you click on it, also some data. It's synchronized in SynchroniCity to use standard European data model, and there you can see this more or less the same values. But unless you're North, you can't do anything with it. So what we did some magic with data science, well, magic, some Python, some stuff in CCAN, and we created a basic dashboard which looks like this. Are we happy now? No, we still look back on averages on a point in time. For instance, if I got a lung disease, this is my city, I want to have a real-time view and more or less a prediction where air quality is green or red. So assume I'm living here, I want to go to work there. In the morning I can go by bike, and I use this Swan app as Jean Jorsma already explained. It provides me directions, and these checks box are all the crossings where it's already available. Let's say in the afternoon I go back to home, everything is red, so I can't bike back safely. So I need an air-conditioned motor transportation, shared or whatever. For that we have this turn app in place. I can state my own, let's say, preferences. And I'm living far away from work, for instance, from my home address to my work address. I want to be there around 8:30 Monday morning on the 21st of September. It calculates the best possible way. It's the least transfers, it's the most environment friendly, it's the cheapest, and it takes the least time. If you want to play around, you can do that and get other alternatives. So what fits Eindhoven? Yeah, living labs. Of course, being the city of Philips, being a city of technical university, getting a technical prototype that actually works is not a challenge. What we actually need is a kind of impact lab, providing stuff to the users. Do we actually need this? And if so, how do we want it? And if you got that, you will scale up, scale out. Can we deliver this stuff to the general public and get an ecosystem in place with a justifiable business model for all parties involved? Well, how do you scale out? Is there some potential for the future? Yes, there is. Again, synchronicity with this guy in charge. The goal was to create the first step for a single European digital market, based on standards, based on innovation and proof. Again, based on OS principles, open databases, open data stores, open interfaces, and not only books, but validated in. We generated 51 IT solutions, and we can scale it up to 150 plus smart cities and communities, all member of the OASC. We created a guidebook. You can see here the project review. The work has been implemented in an exceptional manner and has potential going forward via the MIMs, the minimal interoperability mechanisms, as to be carried out by the OWASP. Do we need to cooperate? And is there room for it? Yes, there is. The Horizon Europe program proposes to fund 100 billion, 10 to the power of 9 euros for the coming 6 years. Of course, for all topics in whole of Europe. These are these topics by and large. And if you talk about our stuff here, it's 13 billion. On top of that, we've got this Digital Europe program, 9 billion. On top of that, you've got the Next Generation Connecting Europe facility, 3 billion. So, yep, there comes a lot of money available for making digital innovation even better, to do the next steps in IoT, next step in digital single market, as also stated by Olavi Lutonen, one of our policy officers of the European Union. Yep, you've seen this before. Want to go somewhat deeper into the Living Europe initiative? You've seen this, you've seen this, you've seen this. Below there, we build upon digital solutions which already are proven, like the SynchroniCity's data model, like the OWASP MIMS, etc. What are the MIMS? Well, if you look at simplified reference architecture, you see the IoT stuff in the lower layer, talking with the standardized interface to the data storage. Harmonize the data using standard data models, talk in the standard interface to the marketplace. And these are the 16.1, so MIM 1, 2, and 3. On top of that, we want to create MIM 4, the personal data management. We want to have MIM 5, the fair explainable AI, and else we're working on the sensor register to have the things, the sensors, also in a simplified register, which enables maximum control. For us, digital trust is key. So we're working on 2 calls, which has to be entered on to Europe last August. We're waiting for the results, hoping good Christmas, where we provide all kinds of stuff. Ideas, again, another one, City Twin, with all kinds of parties involved in the consortium. I want to explain briefly the IRMA initiative by the Dutch Private Software Design Foundation. IRMA stands for I Reveal My Attributes. Example. I reveal that Testa di Vita. I've got this IRMA app, so this website requesting it, a proof of life. I've got my IRMA app on my phone. It's encrypted, it's secured with a PIN code. I've got these data items loaded on my device and encrypted on my device, and these data are from governmental institutes and validated. So if you use this button, go to here, it says these are the attributes of my personal data I want to share. I say yes, and then I reveal only these data, and I'm in charge of providing whatever party I like with the data I like. So, in summary, share knowledge, co-create, collaborate with open APIs, microservice applications in the OWASP and Living in EU initiative. I'm convinced that a self-managed European digital single market will rise and stay. So, not become just another smart deck, do not reinvent the wheel, but adhere to the motto, digital innovation equals city knowledge sharing. Thanks for your attention. You can find my contact details below my business card here. Thanks again. Bye bye.